Well, Scott, flooding in the greater Houston area is expected to worsen, could become historic. That's the adjective by the National Weather Service. The average rainfall in Harris County, it's exceeded that of Tropical Storm Allison back in 2001 and almost half the time. 2.5, 3 days versus 5 days. Of the last 24 hours, the Weather Service Houston Galveston office has gotten 24.1 inches of measured rain. And, of course, additional bands of rainfall are expected and flooding to follow. Weather Service says the majority of rivers and bayous also at record levels. In Houston, the Coast Guard rescues continue. The Coast Guard says if you have an immediate emergency, call 281-464-4851 and go to the roof, not up in the attic, to avoid flooding and to get rescued, they say. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says 600 boats are being used in rescue efforts around Houston as the rain totals continue to rise. He says more heavy rainfall is expected tonight, and like other officials, he's urging everyone to stay indoors, stay off the roadways. Power outages reported across the Houston area, more than 82,000 at last count, according to CenterPoint. A tornado touches down in Missouri City, officials say. Also damage reported in Cypress after an apparent tornado. Another tornado touches down in Wharton County. Officials tell us that an apartment building was heavily damaged, but no one was seriously hurt.
All right, Brett, thank you, sir. And school closings, HISD has canceled classes for the week. Tomorrow was supposed to be the first day, but not going to happen. Alvin, Channelview, Cy-Fair, Humble, Klein, Pearland Springs, Stafford, and Waller all closed for the week as well. KTISD closed till Friday, they say optimistically. And Tomball ISD all week. And then Fort Bend ISD closed through the day after Labor Day. That'll be September 5th. And the Lamar Consolidated ISD closed all week.
All right. People don't realize just how wide an area, people from outside the state of Texas, how wide an area we cover. Harris County alone is huge, but we've got all these surrounding counties. And so it's all these surrounding school districts. And we're starting to hear one by one from various county authorities on what's happening in their particular region. We're awaiting a news conference that's been scheduled for around 3:35 about now from Galveston County Judge Mark Henry to kind of get us up to date on what's been happening down there on the island city. We're also expecting one later this afternoon, 4:45, from Montgomery County Judge Craig Doyle. So the reason why they're trying to get the information out.
And Cher, I've got news about that. I'm being told we were going to try to carry the Judge Mark Henry's comments live, but we had trouble with the stream. So we're trying to find a way to get a recording of it and play it back.
It's already been held.
It did happen.
Oh, my. I'm so sorry that we missed that. All right. I shouldn't have been talking about it when I didn't know we'd had it. Okay, we're hearing.
Well, that's the way
we'll get the information and we'll get it out to you. But, I mean, it's if you think that they're kind of late to the dance, it's because they've been busy dealing with what's really immediately important, which is rescuing people and getting people taken care of and into shelter and dealing with the potential for flooding. Now they're calling news conferences just so we can disseminate the information.
And it's a difficult travel day. I mean, if a mayor or a county judge or even the governor makes a promise to be someplace, well, even with a Hummer or a helicopter, I don't know. I mean, you've got to arrange the transportation.
And you don't want to take those things out of service when you could be using them to rescue and save lives. So I apologize for not being up to date on my information here, but we'll try to find out what the Galveston County Judge Mark Henry had to say. And
we'll try to play back those remarks.
Okay, thanks so much.
And, we were having a discussion about Governor Abbott talking about all the various people that are coming in to help from outside of Texas, and I think we've isolated just that part of it here. Well, if I can get it to play. We have the governor. There we go.
Helicopters as well as other resources have been provided by at least the following states, and hopefully I'm leaving none out: Nebraska, Tennessee, Utah, California, Missouri, Ohio, Arizona, and New York. And that, of course, is in addition to resources that are being provided by the federal government. But I want to extend my deep gratitude to our fellow Americans who are pouring in support from other states and providing resources that are needed to help us deal with these challenges.
And the governor also talked about deploying the National Guard in all this flooding.
We have now activated 3,000 National Guard and State Guard service members, serving all the way from Houston to Victoria, over to Corpus Christi and parts in between. They've activated 500 vehicles, 6 shelters, and 14 aircraft.
And Sherry, I thought you made a good point. We were talking about people coming in to help from other places. Usually it's Texans.
Texans are always the first to jump and go.
Yeah.
But, I talking about the governor talking about Victoria, my hometown is just 40 miles just due north of Victoria. And my brother took some photos that he just shot to me of utility trucks because Victoria's been without power now for about 2 or 3 days. And, the water, everything's a mess there. And he spotted utility trucks from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tulsa, and Veneta, Oklahoma. Said it almost brought tears to them. It just, there they are. You need them. And
Oklahomans helping Texans.
Yes, not to mention Tennesseans who basically helped found the place. So,
well, that's true.
So Hallisville would be the place you would gas up. They were all gassing up at the local station, headed straight south to Victoria and on down then to Rockport and Corpus Christi, which is all just part there on 77 that goes right through Hallisville.
Well, I hope they get to go home soon.
Well, I do too. I hope they get it all repaired, get everybody in shape. But you know what? We're grateful.
Yes, we are. Live team coverage of Tropical Storm Harvey continues. We've got more traffic and weather coming up on News Radio 740 KTRH.
We've never seen anything like this.
This is at least a 500-year event.
When will it let up?
Flooding all over the place.
It's just overwhelming.
It's a disaster.
Continuous coverage, life-saving information on your official severe weather station. News Radio 740. KTRH.
This is Matt Thomas. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you need professional help. Top Tax Defenders. If you received a letter from the IRS, don't ignore it. If you're being audited, have years of unfiled tax returns, or worse yet, you are being issued a wage garnishment or bank levy, you need Top Tax Defenders. It's simply too risky to fight the IRS without the knowledge and experience of Top Tax Defenders and their attorneys and tax specialists. Call them now, 713-489-7792. That's 713-489-7792, or online, TopTaxDefenders.com.
That ignorance, so get on your smartphone or your computer, steam.com. Oops, as in oops, look at that, a dog done shit for a while.
The storm is here, Houston, and while you may think you've taken all the necessary precautions, one thing you may not have thought about is your roof. If you've been putting off that new roof, get ready, because soon you may be in dire circumstances. Lucky for you, Peterson Dean Roofing's got your back and is ready to help. Call us 24/7 for a fast, free roofing quote. Peterson Dean has been Texas strong, serving Houston and the surrounding communities for over 25 years, so you know we'll be here. We use only the best quality American-made products and back our work with the industry's best warranty and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. The best part is that we make the insurance process quick and easy, so you have the peace of mind knowing that your roof will be done by seasoned professionals that get the job done on time and on budget. Just call 888-449-6845. That's 888-449-6845. Don't put it off. Call now for your fast, free roofing quote at 888-449-6845. That's 888-449-6845.
If you're a State Farm policyholder and have been affected by the recent hurricane, please contact your State Farm agent. You can also call 1-800-SF-CLAIM or 800-732-5246 to get started. We're taking calls around the clock and responding as quickly as possible because at State Farm, our goal is to help our customers get their lives back to normal. Contact your local agent, call 1-800-SF-CLAIM or visit statefarm.com.
Foremost Insurance customers, if you've been affected by Hurricane Harvey, you can file a claim online at foremost.com/claims, or you can call the Claim Contact Center at 1-800-527-3907. That's 1-800-527-3907, anytime, day or night. We will help you file a claim so you can prepare for what's ahead. Again, visit foremost.com/claims or call 1-800-527-3907. Foremost Insurance, a member of the Farmers Insurance Group.
Covering Harvey 24/7. This is Operation Stormwatch on News Radio 740 KTRH.
Live team coverage of Tropical Storm Harvey, traffic and weather together. Katie London are we going to go to the judge before the traffic? Katie, if you well, let's do the traffic and weather together. Let's go to Katie first, then we can talk to the judge. Katie, right now, you're the judge.
Well, and I'm judging that you should stay at home for sure. We are just talking about a few spots maybe outside of the immediate area that we haven't been covering too much. Portions of 290 closed in Prairie View and between Waller and Hockley, where they've got that ongoing construction zone. Belleville, pretty much all of 24 and 29 is closed off. Pasadena, 225 closed at Scarborough and Red Bluff. Been talking about portions of like League City 518 at the Gulf Freeway. You're having trouble maneuvering around there. And just a lot of the underpasses covered, a lot of bridges. Greens Bayou Bridge impassable on the Baytown East Freeway. Use some caution if you got to get out, but definitely try and be home before the sun sets and heed the warnings and just stay in place if you can. I'm Katie London in the GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center.
And now live to the Weather Channel and Jeff Eno in the 24-hour Weather Center. Jeff?
Rain continues to fall, and we are still looking at a tornado warning that will be expiring here as we make our way closer to the top of the hour. And again, we are now looking at still some of the reports of flash flooding and also, of course, of the tornado damage that we saw in the subdivision in South Stafford. We will look at a tornado watch until 2 a.m., flash flood watch in the midweek, and then the flash flood warning stay with us into the evening. And again, I believe those will be reissued. We're still seeing some heavy rain falling and some very strong storms all throughout the metro area and also areas to our east and west. So it is kind of just an unbelievably tough, sobering situation here that we continue to see. And also the sobering part is seeing and hearing about a lot of non-first responders, just absolutely civilians that are out there in their boats helping people. That is definitely good for the heart to see that these folks are helping each other out. Everyone stay safe. Todd will be taking over at the top. I wanted to let you know, but it's been a pleasure to join you here the last couple of days, obviously, in not very fortunate circumstances, but thank you for what you do.
We depend on you, Jeff. Thank you, and I assume that we'll have you again tomorrow because it looks like we're going to do a repeat. There he goes.
There he goes. Rain and 76. And Sharon,
it's
we
looking
missed.
Foggy. It's looking absolutely foggy.
Yeah, you
now.
know it does. That's just gets uglier. You know, we missed the live news conference with Judge Henry in Galveston County, but the judge is on the line with us right now.
Making good, Judge. Thank you very much.
Judge Henry, I'm sorry we missed your live news conference there, but what did you want to tell people?
Yeah, well, most people can't get here because we are pretty surrounded by water. We are in the process of probably the largest marine and rescue effort Galveston County has ever seen. We have somewhere between 20 and 40 government and privately owned boats rescuing people out of their homes, mostly in Dickinson, a few in League City, and a few in Santa Fe. We unfortunately have had 22 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. We're currently in a break, but we're expecting another potentially 15 inches of rain in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Judge, here in Harris County, we've got a number for people to call to volunteer if they've got Hummers or boats or something to help out with the emergency response. Do you guys have a similar number?
We don't have a number because we can't keep up with the phone calls at Office of Emergency Management now, but we have a website, or either the OEM website, or we can email Brittany.viegas@galvestoncountytx.gov.
Okay.
Brittany.viegas.
Yeah, and we'll get you that. I believe I've got that email correct. I'll get it to you and make sure it's right.
Yeah, we'll put that up. We also have the Harris County Fire Marshal's office that has been fielding calls and getting them to the right people. It's 713-881-3100. That's also up on our site. We've been giving that out if you've got a boat. The question is, how do they get it down to you?
Well, hopefully they have a boat, and that's what they're going to have to help us out down here. We also are going to need help with additional shelter locations and volunteers to staff them. We're going to fill up what we have available to us here probably in the next few hours.
The only thing they can get through would be extremely high water vehicles, and you probably wouldn't suggest anybody else try to make the effort.
No, please. We don't need to have our rescue stress load added to. So if you can't get here safely without any assistance, please, we appreciate the thought, but we don't need you right now.
Judge, do you know anything more about this nursing home where several people were rescued in Dickinson?
Absolutely. We started receiving calls from the nursing home this morning, I would say around 10, and we were on the phone with them nearly constantly until they were rescued. I would say that was probably around 1:30 or 2 if I had to guess.
Oh, man. And it's just amazing how well the local people have been interacting and working with the official rescuers.
Absolutely. We put out a social media request this morning for people with boats, knowing the county doesn't own enough boats for a rescue operation this size. And we have, like I said, have probably 20 to 30 private boat owners showing up, helping out on their own time, burning their own gas because we can't even fuel them.
Anything else that we can do to get a word out to be of help to you, Judge?
Buses. We also need buses because we're having people dropped off on I-45. That allows the boat to go back out and perform more rescues, but that also leaves people on the side of the interstate that need to get to a shelter.
All right. So the word is duly out there. And again, thank you so much for taking time to get that information to us. And we're going to do the best we can. Stay strong.
Thank you very much.
Galveston County Judge Mark Henry there. And Cheryl, we need your helicopter.
Yeah. We all need a helicopter.
We need the iHeart Media Jetcopter to get down there and help people.
Look, Texans help Texans. Houstonians help Houstonians. People, I'd like to always believe that people will do the right thing and help each other. And it's certainly the way I grew up, and it's the Texas that I know and love. So I'm not surprised by any of this, but I'm just so sad that it's come to this, that we're in this situation. But
again, it's got to happen once every 500 years.
We can't control it, and like I said earlier this morning, we can't control it. All we can do is endure and be resilient and get past it. That's what we do.
I'm guessing that the people that were here in the 1500s may well have had a storm like that or a flooding situation like this, but they didn't write it down.
Well, they didn't have to worry about the overpasses and underpasses flooding.
No, and they didn't have to worry about high water rescues too much. I mean, you were on your own, I suppose.
Well, I think what is unnerving to me is you can hear the exhaustion. I mean, we've got these...
Already sick of this thing, and it still kind of maybe hasn't really started.
And it's not just the people listening. I mean, it's these people who the responsibility is on them, somebody like a Judge Henry, where they've had to oversee and make sure that they coordinate everything. And when you've got that much going on and trying to take care of so many lives, and then there's just no break. You think you're prepared, and you think that you've done everything you possibly can to prepare. Certainly, they were encouraging all of us to prepare, and they were telling us to have 5 to 7 days of water, for instance. Well, I've never had a hurricane where I needed water for 5 to 7 days, but I did. I went ahead and did it, but I prepared for 4 people in my house, and I've got 7 people at my house. So no matter what you do, it's like maybe it's not quite enough.
Well, I mean, part of the problem was we were telling people prepare for a hurricane, and usually a hurricane does what it does and gets through, and it moves on. And this thing's not moving on.
And we all think in terms of the power's going to go out. Well, the power did go out initially, and it will continue maybe with tornadoes and that sort of thing. But they restored the power in so many places so quickly here in the Houston area. Further down the coast, no, that's not the case.
We were marveling yesterday at how quickly the power there were 70,000 without power at 4 in the morning, and then it was down to 35,000 within a couple of hours. And we were marveling at how well things were going, but it's hard to prepare for flooding.
Well, every one of our most recent hurricanes has presented a different scenario for us. We had that horrible, horrible wind here in the Houston area, certainly from Hurricane Ike. From Rita, that preceded it, Beaumont, Port Arthur, that area got the really bad winds. We had the traffic jams on the freeway as people tried to flee. And that created a disaster and loss of life all of its own. Tropical Storm Allison, prior to that, gave us the rain event, but only in a limited area. So this is just totally outside the can. It's outside anybody's experience. We just don't know how we got here.
No, nobody can handle flood. And it may rain through Wednesday. I mean, it's the worst part of this is that it's not over. It may be just starting to a certain extent with regard to the flooding, because the flooding will go on even after the rain stops.
Well,
the rivers will continue to rise.
And that's what we're in. We're in rescue mode to some extent, but we're also still having to brace for further need for rescue. And then what's going to happen when the rivers start. And I should go back to Hurricane Ike. The wind is what drove the storm surge, which is what wiped out Bolivar. Bolivar never has really grown back to what it was before then. We were lucky in not having the storm surge this time. Certainly Galveston was. But now the rain is what's created the flooding conditions rather than the storm surge.
And I'm guessing it was the wind that knocked out all the power in Ike, because the power was out for a lot of people for 2 weeks, and we were near a riot. And right just at the city felt like it was going to erupt. We got the power back on.
Yeah, but, before that, I don't know. I lost for about 8 days under Ike. Under Alicia in 1983, I was without power for like 3 weeks. So
wow, that's crazy. Worst thing you can do to an American is take away electricity.
Well, you get by it. You get by it. Went to school without air conditioning. It wasn't so bad.
You're a tougher person than me.
I come from strong stock.
Well, the president is supposed to be here on Tuesday. We've heard
now
reported.
Learned.
And
the situation's warranting, because it's always disruptive for a president to come visit.
Yeah, and what can he do? Well, command the water to stop rising?
Guarantee that he cares enough to be here. A guarantee that he's standing strong on behalf of FEMA and his agencies, which are under the purview of the president, and that assuring everybody that they're going to get the help that they need.
Well, we will continue to try to provide the help that people need with our live team coverage of Harvey. We've got more traffic and weather together coming up here at the top of the hour on News Radio 740 KTRH.
Monster Jam, celebrating 25 years of adrenaline-charged family entertainment. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Chick-fil-A Houston. Presented by official partner America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. Coming to NRG Stadium October 21st. Win your trip to our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival, hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
Let's get this started.
Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet. September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen to win your trip.
Las Vegas!
Ever mean to say, okay, but it sounded just okay? The new VoiceBite app gets your point across by using your voice. Share socially, send private messages, and interact with your favorite radio show or live event. Download VoiceBite from the app stores now.
92 or online, toptaxdefenders.com.
You thought it was too late to call Generator Super Center? You thought you missed it? Nope. Call them now, 281-251-6100. They'll come out and do a temporary install, come back later and do the permanent. 281-251-6100, GeneratorSuperCenter.com.
Did you know slow internet can actually hold your business back? Say goodbye to slow downloads, slow backups, slow everything. Comcast Business offers blazing fast and reliable internet that's over 6 times faster than slow internet from the phone company. Say hello to fast internet speeds up to 250 megabits per second. Plus, did you know that in addition to fast internet, you can also add TV and phone for your business for just an additional $34.90 a month? Comcast Business TV helps keep your employees informed. And you get full-featured phone service with unlimited local and long-distance calls. And did you know all this is only a phone call away? Call 800-501-6000. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Offer in 6/30/17. Restrictions apply. Limited to one voice line and private view TV for new customers. 2-year contract required. Requires Comcast Business Internet and an additional monthly charge. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Compares Comcast 250 megabits per second and 40 megabits per second DSL downloads.
SterlingMcCall.com.
Houston knows the name.
SterlingMcCall.com. For new cars and used cars, thousands to choose from. All you gotta do is log on to SterlingMcCall.com.
They say the candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe this sale. Because here at Lone Star Chevy, we tell you all the time about our general manager, Johnny Smith. He's always cutting prices. He'll personally make sure that you get the deal you want.
Yeah, and we're not even kidding here. He personally cuts prices. In fact, he's doing that right now. A week ago, we offered 25% off a brand new Chevy. Well, now we're offering 30% off. It's real, people. Right now, you get 30% off the MSRP of a brand new 2017 Silverado LT. 30%. Plus, you'll save big on every Tahoe and Suburban as well.
And, here's the thing. When a sale is this good, it just can't last very long.
That's right.
Here's the man himself to tell you more.
If you didn't get the deal you want, come see me, Johnny Smith. My office is right on the showroom floor, and I'll make sure you get the low Lone Star Chevy price at the legendary Lone Star Chevrolet.
So hurry to Lone Star Chevrolet at 290 at Eldridge and LoneStarChevrolet.com. Call 888-690-6972 for details.
Chevy, find new roads.
Now, The latest news, weather, and traffic from the Gallery Furniture Made in America studios. This is News Radio 740 KTRH, Houston, an iHeart radio station.
Live team coverage of Tropical Storm Harvey. I'm Scott Cutter. Sheriff Fryer is here, and Mr. Brett Downer are going to do some news. But first, Katie London has a look at the traffic.
Well, the high water locations continue to increase. Now over 276 are being tracked by TransStar. You may think you can get onto a freeway and then you'll find you can't get off of it, or you can't make it through an underpass. That's been creating dangerous situations, seen a lot of wrong-way drivers on the roads, putting others at risk. Nobody moving on the Gulf Freeway at 517. Baytown, Mont Belvieu area, 146, that's closed. Southbound crossing over I-10. I-10 east over Needle Point, you're not getting through there. Both directions of 99 blocked south of I-10, as well as FM 3180 and pretty much all portions of 565. Dayton, 321 Cleveland Street, that's closed between 668 and 146. Of course, Bush and Hobby airports are both closed, and those roadways in and out of them are closed as well. So it is best to just shelter in place, heed all those warnings, and stay inside, stay dry, stay safe. I'm Katie London in the GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center.
And now we go live to the Weather Channel of the 24-hour Weather Center, and Todd Borrett is now stepping in once again. Todd, we've just had one awful night, and it looks like we got another one ahead of us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish that when we come on, we can have something different to say in terms of what is happening. But so long as the center circulation of Harvey is still down to our south and west, we're going to continue to see those bands of heavy showers and storms tack on to what already is a catastrophic couple of days. We do have a couple of windows here and there, but once again, another band of somewhat lighter showers and thunderstorms are now pushing off to the general direction of about the north and around the Lake Jackson area, over and heading up, heading just north of the Angleton area, and that is again spreading off toward downtown again. You're going to get a little bit of a break, and then hopefully we can see some of these bands try and push through and then eventually give us a break. But what ends up happening, you have a band come through and then it just feeds itself. We have that moisture coming off the Gulf, and then more showers and storms pop up where some areas aren't seeing anything. I wouldn't be surprised we continue this through the evening.
All right, Todd, thank you very much, and stay on top of it for us. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Todd Borrett with the Weather Channel.
And right now we still got heavy rain, 76, Shara, at the KTRH 24-hour Weather Center. Let's get some news here. Our friend Brett Downer.
Well, Scott, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has talked to President Trump. He says he's talked several times, and the governor says he's getting everything that's needed to aid flood victims. He says that all the assets from FEMA have been triggered to aid in the flood disaster. Abbott says more than 1,000 search and rescue personnel are focused on the area where the hurricane first hit, then more help moves up the coast, meaning closer to us later on. At least 2 Harvey-related deaths so far, one of them right here in Houston. Mayor Sylvester Turner says the victim was a woman who was driving and got caught in high water. Ben Taub Hospital has been cut off from access, even ambulances, because of floodwaters.
So Ben Taub has had some water and sewage infiltrate its basement areas, and they've had to relocate certain critical support functions like nutrition services, pharmacy, central supply, and other things. It is surrounded by water at this moment.
That's Harris Health spokesman Brian McLeod. He says that's never happened before at the hospital. Existing patients, they're being treated on higher floors. And as Shara covered firsthand, Ben Taub was the hospital that took on other hospitals' patients back during Allison. Both Houston airports are closed at this hour. The George R. Brown Convention Center, it's open as an emergency center to anybody who needs shelter. Houston Fire Chief continues to maintain, if you're in your home, stay there. Other officials are agreeing with him. The U.S. Coast Guard is continuing its search and rescue efforts in the greater Houston area. In Friendswood, Black Hawk helicopters have been helping people. Even the Texas Task Force One's coming in. It'll be staged at NRG Park. First responders from other states as well, Pennsylvania among them. And curfews going into effect. Pearland has a curfew from 10 to 6. Also late word that President Trump may be visiting Texas on Tuesday.
All right, Brett, and let's go through the school closings list again, because it's crazy. HISD was going to have the first day of school tomorrow. They're not now. The entire week of classes has been canceled for HISD. It's also true in Alvin, Channelview, Cy-Fair, Humboldt, Klein, Pearland Springs, Stafford, and the Waller school districts, as well as Katy and Tomball, Fort Bend, and the Lamar Consolidated ISD. So no school, and Shara, it's just shocking. And the flooding, in many senses, may not have really yet begun. I mean, it's as bad as it is now. It could get worse, and I don't know. I don't see anything good in the future.
You know, there has been such a rapid shift. We had to go in immediately and go into Rockport and Victoria and those areas where people were in dire straits for the first brunt of the storm as it made landfall. But they're now, in many regards, starting their cleanup effort already, certainly down in Rockport, and it's going to be extensive and very expensive as well. But now, those resources you're seeing, like Texas Task Force 1, they're not doing water rescues there in the valley. Well, Corpus Christi, getting close to the valley. But now they're shifting over to us. And this has all happened in 24 hours.
And in Dickinson, our friends at the Weather Channel are having a look at the nasty water. Can we bring up the Weather Channel real quick here? Thank you.
Folks home earlier, and we've got them out. So,
right. Jason, thank you so much. Doing water rescues right now in Dickinson, Texas. We'll be right back.
And that's what they're showing there with the video is just a bunch of cars halfway covered with water, and it's going to continue.
But, you know, in a way, that makes me relieved, because if they're rescuing people who got trapped because they went out driving, that's one thing.
No, those people are parked.
People in a nursing home and people who came, who saw the water come into their homes up to their chest. This means to me that maybe, hopefully, they've rescued all those people and taken them to shelters. And so, again, you just step forward, and embrace, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring.
The horror of it, we're going to be like New Orleans and Katrina. They're going to be finding bodies after this is all over. I mean, this story doesn't end even when it does stop raining.
We hope that is not the case. And I tell you, watching some of these rescues this morning and listening to the people who'd been rescued, the resiliency of them and the stoicism, and it was elderly, but it was also young women with babies, and the babies were crying, but the women were like, my neighbor came and got me out, and somebody came back in for me. And it was all about the people, just ordinary citizens who saw that there was a need and they stepped in to help. And, you get to a point where it's all about life and preserving your life and preserving the lives of others. And all that other thing, it's just stuff. And you just got to let it go. And there's nothing you can do to keep the floodwaters back. If they're coming, they're coming. And you can just deal with it. You just have to do the best that you can to deal with it. And I would say rise above it, but that just sounds so corny.
713-212-5874. We'd still like to hear from you, your situation. 713-212-5874. This morning, the Coast Guard told us about what they're doing.
281-464-4851. Again, that was 281-464-4851. And that's for those that are in need of immediate help or assistance. And we would ask that you please do not use social media if you are in distress. We don't have the means to monitor social media. So we are rescuing people based on priority. That is based on people with life-threatening illness or injury, those elderly, and the children. We would ask that you do not go into your attic. Rescuers from the air cannot see you. If you need help, we ask that you provide your location, your zip code, your street name, and the number of persons that are in need of assistance. For those of you that we cannot get to right away, I know that the situation is scary, so please try to remain calm and do not panic. We would ask that you get to high ground, and again, do not go into the attic. Rescuers from the air cannot see you. We would ask that you mark your roof to be seen from the air, wave sheets, towels, or anything to get our attention. And think about safety if you are going on the roof. This is going to be a prolonged weather event for those in this region. So this is an all hands on deck evolution, we are coordinating our operations with our local, state emergency operations centers and our federal partners in this response. So the Coast Guard is bringing crews from all over the nation to help with our response efforts. We currently have 8 Coast Guard HH-65 helicopters and 3 flood response teams conducting rescue operations. We've called on additional resources from Customs and Border Protection, Department of Defense, and Air National Guard to provide additional air assets. We are bringing an additional 11 Coast Guard helicopters from across the country to assist in the rescue operations. We've already rescued more than 100 people from the air, but we've received well over 500 phone calls for assistance or people that are in distress. We are conducting active searches and rescue missions at this time, so current survivors are being transported to Texas Air National Guard, JRB Ellington, and then they are working with us to shuttle those survivors to here at the Coast Guard sector Houston-Galveston, and we're working with the Emergency Operations Center to provide transportation to local shelters.
That is the Coast Guard from this morning. 713-212-5874 is our number, and Ben is in Mount Bellevue. Ben, what are you seeing?
Right now, all of our city streets are flooded. The main road, Eagle, is completely flooded. Most of the houses are okay. If there's nothing open on 146, the closest thing is maybe some of the gas stations in Anahuac, and then going all the way to Beaumont, because Winnie's also flooded.
Have you seen any sign that we were told that perhaps there was a twister that touched down somewhere in the Needville area? Have you seen any signs of that type of destruction or heard any word of that?
Not not where we're at exactly. I know there was a couple of them much earlier.
Okay. Well, Ben, best of luck. We've got Barbara in Needville, and Barbara did. We lost Barbara there. Well, I was going to ask her whether or not they had a twister in Needville. Well, it is 4:12. Our live team coverage of Tropical Storm Harvey continues here. More traffic and weather together coming up in a few minutes on News Radio 740 KTRH.